Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Thank you for checking in today, and thank my beautiful subscribers for all their lovely comments and all you viewers for your comments and ideas. And we just received a great one, and it just is such a delicious topic, and everybody's so into it. And this one is, am I sexually satisfying my partner? Now, why I thought this was a good topic is because, as we discussed in some of the other videos, super high manifestation time for relationships and people coming together and meeting. And this time of year, it's ridiculous with Halloween and this in America and all the cool festivals all over the world. A lot of people are meeting their significant other. You know what I mean? They're like living in the light, and there's a lot of fantastic magic that's being captured in relationships and other things. It's so funny. I moved to another room and like everybody all of a sudden has to be there. You know, it's just what captures our spirit, our imagination, what really satisfies us. I mean, we don't get on the top of our house and announce it to people. So lots of times that's not even in the dialogue. So people are guessing. So I'm going to start to shuffle the cards. It's so funny. Like I was going through all the suggestions and I'm like, wow, they're piling up. I got to do these. And then when I saw that, I was like, Holy Mary, Mother of God, that's so awesome. And I saw this funny, hilarious article this morning on money, because one of my things is going to be on money. And it was like the terminology of it. And it was so funny. It was like, when you owe money, it's debt. Post-retirement, it's a pension. In case of divorce, it's an alimony. In court, it's a fine. Your employer gives you a salary. A day worker gets a wage. You know, when you borrow from a bank, it's a loan. Your mom gives you an allowance. If you're kidnapped, it's a ransom. If it's from the government, it's a tax. If it's illegal, it's a bribe. For college, it's a fee. And for a temple or church, it's a donation. Oh, that's another thing. If you want to donate, my link's below. I have got to get my own little private space to work in, because everybody has their own bedroom, and I'm like working out of whatever room people aren't in, and I'll just be there, and all of a sudden a crowd of teenagers will walk through. The cats will come through. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But isn't that so funny about the money thing? I'm like, wow, I never thought of it like that. But I remember reading the article and I'm like, God damn, that's true. So can you imagine the terminology that's out there for sex at this rate? It must just be off the charts. So again, I'm going to do a pick a card, and I'm going to keep it very clear where each things are, and have an indicator. So everybody, especially non-English speakers like you are, you're actually 60% of my viewers are not English speaking countries. So I really try to speak with a lot of clarity and conciseness so you guys can understand. So again, if you're just tuning in, this is, do they find me sexually satisfying? Because honestly, unless you ask, how can you know? There are cues. And again, when I do my all-encompass video on attraction cues and body language, I'm going to have that in there too. I'm going to have that all fully unwrapped for you guys, because some of the things are very slight, but some you just wouldn't think about, but they're super obvious, and they really, really do pertain to, you know, people trying to set off those signals, whether they find something, and also while you're in bed, whether they find something enticing and nice, or whether they find it, you know, a little beyond their ability or scope. Whether you scaring them, they're like, put that thing down, put that thing away. I don't even know what's happening anymore. But you know, like, do you remember that show, the 70s show, when Donna and Eric are like going for it, and he tries to like get up to some butt action or something, and all she does, she goes, don't do that, stop that right now. I mean, you never want to embarrass somebody, but you never know what is freaky to one is completely the norm to the other. So we're going to find out what the hell's going on with you guys right now. So number 1 is the pyrite, number 2 is the blue chalcedony, and number 3 is the malachite's star. That's not even the right word, but my brain isn't working because it's over inundated with some facts I've just learned. I'm serious. Yesterday, I knew I had to do this because instead of saying fabricate, I said fornicate. And I was like, that doesn't even fit. That has nothing. And then I just burst out laughing. I couldn't keep my shit together. It was so funny. So I love you guys again. You're so cool with your funny comments. And I love doing the sexy, sexy cards because your comments are hilarious. And it's mostly you women. You're so funny because you're very verbal and connected. So, so great. So this is what we're going to do. I'm sorry, my gadgets are going off. Really, I'm going to have to start getting paid assistance at this rate because I am trying to answer everything and do stuff, and it gets so crazy. And I'm like, I get ideas, I literally just start throwing cats out of the way. I'm like, I got to do it now. I'm seriously, because when the iron, like if I strike when the iron's hot, I get what is called just, I get really, really super hot connections. And I love this because, oh my God, when we're talking about energy, just everything being an energy, money, like we were saying earlier, like fines, all that thing, it really is. But sexual energy is extremely pronounced and funny. Because I can read body language so well, I actually get freaked out sometimes if, like I'll speak to a male, and a lot of times if they're shy or whatever, they will cross their arms over their private areas. Now, if they're highly sexual, they will jut their hips out towards you. That's an indication. They'll put that one foot out in front, and they actually put their groin area like closer and towards you. It's a very funny thing when you're aware of these, and I'm like, oh, hell to the no. And I'll usually shift myself to the side or whatever. A lot of people aren't even aware they're doing it, especially if they have a high sex drive and they're in their prime. They don't even know. It's very animalistic. And so you know what I found will start that and kick that off the most is the olfactory sense. It's smell. I actually stopped wearing this one thing because it was legitimately like love potion number 9. It was like I felt like Sandra Bullock running up the road. Even my female coworkers were like getting really close to me, and I'm like, why are you doing that? What the hell's going on? And they're like, I can't. You're like baked goods. I don't know what's happening. I swear to God, it was like in that vampire show where the fairy had that blood that everybody wanted. This shit really was. And I swear to God, I'm going to get this and I'm going to package it. But you got to be careful because I swear to God, there is something in this. And it is like a pheromone that makes people go friggin' mental. I stopped wearing it. I don't even know where the vial is. I'm like, holy shit. But I got some for my girls at work, for the other Melanie. A girl started work with me and I love her. I was the Caucasian Melanie and she was the African American Melanie. And I got one for her too, and it was like we were salt and pepper and ridiculous. But this stuff, I'm gonna show it to you, and I'm gonna get some because it's crazy. Okay, so we're gonna go on one. Are you sexually satisfying to them? This is the pyrite, and I promise no more jabberjaw. Oh yeah, oh my God! You are not only sexually satisfying, you are rocking their literal world, and you fast and hard. You're rocking the literal world. Now this is amazing and so fun because what is occurring here? Okay, so what happens is you there's this word. Yeah, you're incomparable with anybody. Like they're not even in the same realm with you. It's like a joke. There is something about you, and I feel like it's your physical type too. They really like it. I feel like you're curvy and you're voluptuous, and they love that. And I don't care what anybody says. I have 4 older brothers. I worked with 1 million males, and it's funny. I'm usually putting in an all male set, and I'm like the chill factor in them, but I learn a lot because I keep my ears open and I'm nosy and I got to know. And their main thing is nobody wants some weird twiggy skinny mini that they feel like they're bumping off. I'm serious. That is a select thing. And if you're thin, I'm sorry, I'm super bony thin and stuff too. And sometimes I feel bad when somebody puts their head on my shoulder and they're like bonk and they hit a bone, you know what I mean? But they love the warmth of like some flesh, you know what I mean? And I feel like he is so into that. And you have some and he's like, ooh yeah. And I feel like it's the feel of your skin too. Like he just always wants to touch it and rub it. The 8 of Wands, oh please, could it be any more like sexual net? That is hot fire, passion, go, go, go. Wands is action, action, action. So I feel like they just simply cannot even get enough, which is funny. But the world, I mean, please, that means you're just toppity top, top, top. And then we have the 5 of coins. Oh, I love that. And that this is about romance. And look at, he has the mandolin or the violin in the back. And it's about presenting a romantic package as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about, wham, bam, what you getting up to, ma'am? It's about, hey, let's have the full service car wash here. We got music and romance. So it's kissing. I feel like he loves the way you kiss, or she loves the way you kiss. It's the best. And please, your rear end is to die for sure. And the Knave of Swords is like, he thinks about you constantly. Like he just can't even, like he daydreams. He's at work. He should probably be focusing on that vehicle he's driving, or that scalpel he's wielding, or that gavel he's banging, because he'd rather be banging you. Boom, boom. I felt so funny this morning. I'm like, I have to do this right now. And just reading the females, you guys, your comments, I was like, oh my God, it's so funny because females are much more upfront about what they like, and they'll say it, you know what I mean? I am, just because I have no hang-ups whatsoever, and I was born a very natural, cool, awesome place. And my mom literally had a harem at her dispense. I'm serious, males and females. I remember all these women and men just loving her and circulating around her. And it was the 70s and it was no big deal. I remember lava lamps and weed and just sexy, sexy people. And they would just dance. It was like random dance parties in the middle of my living room. So I have a very gypsy, accepting heart and stuff. And I just observe, but I do love the energy that is connected to the sexual selves, because people lose their mind. That's where their judgment, it's almost like they're being drunk. And it is. It's emotional and love drunk. It really is. People are crazy. But this sun gun loves you and he thinks you're the sexiest thing on the planet Earth. Yeah, look at that. So if that's you, lucky, lucky charm time. Nice. So if that resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please comment. It's so funny. We have the funniest, coolest running dialogue with all the viewers and subscribers, especially when we do these things, because it really is. There's sometimes these notions get buried, and then when they're brought to the front, you're like, oh yeah. But just know, always, you can always discuss anything with anybody, your intimate partner, and you should set boundaries, because you never know. Some people are from all over the world, and one thing is very acceptable and cool and fun. It might not be so great in Iceland. You know what I mean? Yeah, they might just throw you off that iceberg. Party over. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely comment. And I have my private read information for down below. My private reads get booked up completely 90% with love, twin flame, and that relationship questions, because they really do kind of they hover around us, and that's where we are the most vulnerable and sensitive, for sure. So this is group number 2. This is Chalcedony. So do they find me? Ooh, okay, I'm gonna stop and breathe for a sec, because this has 2 layers to it, and I gotta absorb that. So just have a look at those nice nudie. Look at that guy. Oh, I'm sorry, Fabio. Let me clear the thing from the last time. Okay, do they find you? How do they find you in the Sakarune? You know what I mean? It's so funny. People always, I think men question themselves more than women, for sure. Women sometimes are concerned with their physical self. Men definitely with their performance, because please, it's their manhood. They have a large stake in that. Of course they have, not for a double entendre. Okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, the Magician. Oh yeah, you're pulling magic things out, in the 10 of Chalices. So it's like the 10 of Cups. So absolutely, not only that, it's like a lot of areas of your significant other's lives are made better just when they can daydream that they get to be back with you. 10 of Cups, you absolutely emotionally fulfill them, sexually fulfill them, and everything on the full spectrum. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just gutsy, funny, warm. And I see a lot of people with really cool tattoos, and you talk about your tattoos in it, and you talk, you know what I mean? You talk, and it's fun, it's banter. Nobody takes themselves too seriously. People aren't second guessing themselves. And I said this in my other one, my video, my first one I did with this, with Do They Fantasize? And that thing busted up to like 35,000 viewers quite quick, because a lot of people on it, like, they have questions. And I feel like the number one thing that kills a mood quicker than anything is that self-doubt, or bringing out your perceived physical flaws in front of them. That just kills it. It absolutely smushes it, because people think, what are they talking about? Look at my legs, look at my butt. Oh, this is so fat, this is so big, this is so whatever. It's a distraction. And you know what? They didn't notice that. They're with you for a reason. They like what you got, or you wouldn't be there, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So by demeaning yourself and your parts, or thinking there's something, it is just a distraction. You want to get on with this sweet, sweet loving and filling each other's cups with love. Because look at it. Fabio to the rescue. Look at this guy. Could you please? Look at the candle. Wow. Oh my God, in a minute, if I wasn't attached to this by cords, I have to get the painting that my friend painted me of yesterday. You guys are going to die. I'm basically a boob with a heart head. Eleni painted me as a fairy that I'm just a boob with a head, and it's hilarious. She does really, really good sort of like erotica art too. So 6 of Wands. Yes. Now, this is the area that I found it. I feel like you put work into this action, though. You don't just show up in your sweatpants. You're not showing up with, glue sticks in your hair and your flip-flops and looking all kinds of hot mess. Like, I feel like you like your toes manicured. I feel like you like to smell nice. But yeah, I feel like your feet, I picture people putting a lot of work in their feet, and he likes them. He's also very gallant, and people celebrate him. Like, he's a celebrated lover. Like, in the past, people are like, whoa, this dude's got it going on, and he feels the same about you. So I feel it's a very high sex drive. You know what I mean? I feel like, yeah, you could just, I don't know, get a paper towel off the shelf, and he's like, oh, I think it's time. And like, dun 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 dun. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like he just finds you the flavor of the day, year, month, everything. So that's amazing. And yeah, you're sharing things and you're talking and you're relaxed. That is an aphrodisiac beyond for sure. So that is you. That's fantastic. I'm excited for you guys, number 2. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, and leave your comments, because I have the best comments and I answer them all, and we open a dialogue, and especially with this because it's such a fun topic, right? And yeah, and all my links are down below if you need a private read. All my private reads, I feel like these days, are all based on that, like sexual attraction and also people's twin flames and love. It's a high super manifestation law of attraction time. So when you're calling those lovers to you and they're here, sometimes it's so fast you're like, whoa, I don't know if I'm mentally, physically ready, all those things. You know what I mean? You have to prepare yourself, and there's some easy ways to do that. Nice. Knave of Wands. So he's a really good lover. 7 of Chalices. You're very receptive. This is the best card that you could get for this. So hail to the yeah. You do have one thing with overthinking, but this is really nice. Wow, you guys. Wow. Okay, I got to take a breath and stuff. I have so many ideas. I just have to slow it, especially for non-English speaking, so they understand. Okay, so this is fantastic. When you have the Knave of Wands and the 7 of Chalices, the Fool is ideal for this, and this is why. Just beginning on the journey, when you met each other, you don't put some crazy expectations like it has to be like a Fabio on the cover, and you're in Italy and you're on top of the Parthenon and the angels and the doves and all that. You know, it's not grandiose in your head. It is just solid, earthy, amazing connection. I feel like there's what I call the pheromone latch, where your pheromones are like completely in sync. Like you're not, it's so subtle and subconscious when you smell them. It is a primal thing from way back. It's the same thing where you're gauging whether they would be good to procreate and make a family with. There's a very strong thing with that. So the rest is like a breeze to you, and you're like, we're traveling light. We're not worried about all the fancy extras and the candlelight and this and that. Is just a natural thing. If you're out in the woods, you'd be like, yay, tra-la-la, big bad wolf is here. Let's go to town. That type of thing. And the 7 of Chalices, it's filling you up emotionally because you're sharing and you're actually planning and you're daydreaming about it, and you're just fantasizing and having a good time in your office. It's like very 50 Shades of Grey. Oh my God, well, what if we did this? You know what I mean? You can live such a rich fantasy life in your head and just bring proponents of that to the actual physical act, so you don't break your own neck and their own face and everything else and stuff, like, yeah, you don't want to be one big porno blooper. And I have to add this is what made me do this too. My husband and I were having a discussion this morning, and it was YouTube, and instead of that, he goes, oh yeah, that lady should be on PornTube or YouPorn or something. I go, what the hell is that? And then he told me about this existing thing on YouPorn where people just do stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, they put money in this and that. And I was laughing so hard because I was like, I don't think there isn't any outlet where somebody could be one button push away from anything they wanted anyway. You know what I mean? It's so bizarre. So you absolutely fulfill him in a very romantic way. Like, he sees you very feminine and dreamy, and like I just see you in those long, what are those just like one-piece dresses that are really chill, those beach dresses, and you like things flowy and loose and cool. And I feel like you have really nice hands. I feel like he likes your hands, and he likes your shoulder area and your hair, of course, too. But this is the best when you have the Knave of Wands, and that's compatibility at its finest, and it's really, really nice. Bye, hon, have a good day. Poor Ian. I was like, you go in there and get out of here. I got to work. I'm like, I got inspired. You get the hell out of the way. I actually have to move to different rooms of the house to get different energy and move because I feel closeted and I need more space for this. So with this too, starting off with this, it's really super fast, intense, fiery passion where you feel like you can't get enough of each other. And it's sustainable because it's like you do the little things for each other that matter, that keep those fires stoked. Like just being there when they're talking to you. You don't have your face in your device. You cook little things for them and vice versa, and they bring you coffee, and those little reciprocation things are amazing. I watched Bill Burr the other day do his stand-up thing, and I died laughing. He said, you know what you do to keep a man, and you will blow their mind, and they will never forget you that you did this ever. Men on occasion like their time alone. If you go in the kitchen and you put them together, their favorite sandwich while they're watching a game or something, you put it together, you put it on the table next to them with a cold beer, and you leave. That's all you do. You get in your car and you leave, and you go shopping, you get your nails done, you go whatever, adopt a tiger from the zoo. You can do whatever you want at that point because you have made him a sandwich, and you have not stayed around to be lauded and applauded or been like, I made you this, now what are you going to do for me? Just that simple act of that gesture is, I want to feed you because I love you, now peace out, bye. And he went on and on and on about this. He goes, I swear to God, I have not forgotten it to this day. And I thought that was so interesting because it is things like that. You did not ask for one thing in return. It was a loving gesture that thought, hey, my dude would love a sandwich right now, or vice versa. My lady De Winter would like a cappuccino from the south of France. I'll go there and get it. You know what I mean? All those things. It's gestures, tiny loving gestures. And that is running amok, and it builds the passion. And with the Five of Swords, fives can sometimes be conflict, but I see sometimes you get conflicted in your head because when you have a good thing, you're like, how can this sustain itself? How can this passion stay like this? How can this build? So you start to doubt, but guess what? Because it's situated right next to the Fool, it dissipates and disappears. It exactly hits the ground running and it evaporates immediately because the Fool is the most awesome card in that it's saying, dream a little dream. You're Dr. Seuss, motherfucker. Oh, the places we'll go. You know what I mean? It's exactly just, I'm sorry for swearing, but I'm so excited about this group because when people don't place expectations and boundaries on things, and things are allowed to unfold naturally, it is the best. I mean, the best encounters I've ever had, it's just been like where you're just having a discussion and somebody's just leaned over and kissed you or done something very sweet and just different things, you know, like natural, being outside, stuff like that. And the Fool is like, I'm game, let's go. So that is you guys, and that's fantastic. Oh, I love that. Yeah, you take out all overthinking, and it is just all in the mix. So make him a sandwich, and he's yours forever. Seriously, little gestures that don't require a thank you or whatever. You just place it by him, and you pop off like the friggin' sandwich fairy you are. You'll come home and I swear to God, there'll be a Rolls Royce in the drive or at least some new tarot cards. All right, you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. And also, all my links are below for donations, for private reads, all those things. I appreciate everybody so much. You guys have been excellent. And I love when you're signing up for your reads, how you're giving me that very finite information that you want to know about. It's very helpful in the read. So we're really getting all that good chunky information that you guys want. So again, keep it hot and make those sandwiches, people. Woohoo!